Jefferson County Court Law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session in cause number M326124. The case is style of State of Texas versus Richard Julius Senegal Jr. Senegal, would you please come forward? Senegal, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Senegal, do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Senegal, you may put your hand down. Mr. Senegal, I have before me a document. Well, first of all, Mr. Senegal, let me inform you, you have a right to have a record made of the hearing. And what that basically means, you have the right to have a court reporter to dictate everything that's being said in your case. You also have a right to waive or give up your right to have a court reporter. That means you have a right not to have a court reporter as well. So do you waive your right to have a court reporter or not? You do? Okay, now, Mr. Senegal, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that on or about May 27, 2019, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed to Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Mr. Senegal, do you understand what you've been charged with? And to discharge Mr. Senegal, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes. No.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Correct.
Now, Mr. Senegal, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. It's also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
No.
On page 2 of this same document, there are 2 sets of initials. First set of initials, RJS, are on a line next to a box that's titled Nola Contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this line?
Yes, sir.
The second set of initials is below a paragraph that is titled Discovery Admonishment, and they are on a line next to a statement that reads, I do not request discovery of the evidence. I've waived my right to request discovery in this case and choose to enter a plea of guilty or no contest. And Mr. Senegal, did you place your initials on this document, on this line?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, I do.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that are checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, I do.
The second statement, where the box is checked, states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal this case. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, I do.
Now, Mr. Senegal, before you signed, and initial these documents, we also have some other documents. These documents that I have before me is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney and Waiver of Counsel for Purposes of Entering a Guilty Plea or Proceeding in Trial. And on the judge's explanation, there's a signature on the line that's titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
And there's initials on the line stating you want to waive your right to an attorney and to represent yourself. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, the waiver of counsel for purposes of entering a guilty plea or proceeding to trial, there's a signature above the line that's titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Senegal, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. State, I have, well, Mr. Senegal, before I do that, Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, I am.
Okay, now state. I have before me states exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and states exhibit number 2, the probable cause affidavit. State, would you like to offer states exhibit 1 and states exhibit 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Senegal, the state is offering into evidence states exhibit number 1. That's the misdemeanor plea admonishment, the first document or the second document that I went over with you, that have your initials on page 2 and your signature on page 3. Also, the state is offering states exhibit number 2, which is the probable cause affidavit. That's normally referred to as the police report. The state would like to use these documents as evidence against you in your case. Is it all right for the state to use these documents as evidence in your case?
Yes.
No objections. States exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted into evidence. Now, Mr. Senegal, is there any evidence that you are currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No.
Okay, Mr. Senegal, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement in this case?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for a plea of guilty or no contest, state agreed to recommend 6 days in the Jefferson County Jail and court costs. Mr. Senegal has credit for 6 days, would ask that it be a time served judgment and to tax and retire the court.
Okay. Now, Mr. Senegal, the state is offering that you serve 6 days in the Jefferson County Jail. And you've already served 6 days in the Jefferson County Jail, therefore you be given credit for the time that you have already spent in jail. The court cost in this case is $442, but you will not have to pay the $442 court cost because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court cost will be taxed and retired. Now, Mr. Senegal, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, I do.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, I do.
And do you accept the state's offer? Mr. Senegal, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. And now, Mr. Senegal, this will conclude your case. You're gonna stand in front of our court clerk right here to my right. You're gonna follow her directions. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Please stand to my right.
Hi, do you mind having a seat just right there while I finish typing? Thank you so much.
Okay, this will conclude the following agreement document in County Court Number 2, Jefferson County, Texas. On today's date of May 9th, 2023.